everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a blanket. I'm going to be making a baby blanket, but you can continue to add yarn until you make whatever size you want. I'm using the baby bundle yarn or home bundle. It's the same yarn. These are the big balls and I have 2 of them, and this is enough to make a baby blanket. Now I made one pattern, a video before for a different pattern, and I wanted to see if we could do another pattern. Alright, so I'm just going to use my 8mm crochet hook, and I'm going to start by making a slip knot. This yarn can be really difficult to work with because it has so many different fibers, different kinds of yarn and all that stuff, so these types of patterns will make it a lot easier. So after you make your slip knot, you're just going to chain 5, 3, 4, and 5. And then you are going to, see, this is what I'm talking about. It's so hard to see where your stitches are. But you're going to try and find that first stitch and slip stitch to join. And that way you're left with that circle into the center. And then you are going to chain 3. And then you're going to put 2 more double crochets into that space. So there's 1 and 2. Okay. So now you have a cluster of 3. Then you're going to chain 1. And then you're going to put 3 double crochets into the center of your work. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now you have 2 clusters of 3. And you're going to chain 1. And you're going to put 3 double crochets into the center. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, now we need to do this one more time, and if you need space, just push your work over. So chain 1 and then 3 double crochets into the center. 1, 2, and, oh, this piece is so frizzy, and 3. Okay, so now you are going to try to join to that top chain there, the top of that chain up. Okay, and there we go. That's how we're going to start this blanket. And we're just going to pull on this, not too hard because this seems to look like it wants to break on me, so not too hard. Alright, so now we're going to turn our work. So now we're facing the back, we're looking at the back of it. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And we want to work into this space. We're not working into the stitches, we're working into these spaces on the corners. Okay, so we want to put 2 double crochets into that space. 1 and 2. Because your first one counts as a double crochet already, so now you have 3. And we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to go back into that same space and we're going to put 3 more double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now we're done that corner. We need to jump right over into this corner here, and we're going to put 3 double crochets into that same space. Just need to pull out some more yarn. 2 and 3. All right, we're going to chain 1. and put 3 more double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we're done that corner. We're going to jump over to this next one, and we're going to put 3 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm going to chain 1 and put 3 more double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Now we need to do this last corner. Three double crochets into that space. Chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets into the same space. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so now we are going to join to this top chain. See, with this kind of yarn where it's so difficult to see some of the actual chains, it's easier to find a pattern or use a pattern where you're not actually using the chains to stitch into at all. So you're actually just working into these spaces, which is a lot easier. The most important thing you want to do with this yarn is you want to watch your tension, because some of the yarn is thinner. Like this stuff here, it looks thick, but it's kind of thin. This stuff here is thicker, and this stuff here, if you can see, I think this was called Pixie. I don't remember. But anyway, this stuff is really thin. So you just want to make sure that your tension is appropriate for each yarn so that your blanket comes out looking good and it's not lopsided. So now, again, we are going to turn our work. We're going to chain 3. All right, so now, if you notice, we have the corners, but we also have a space in between. So we are going to put 2 double crochets into that space for a total of 3. Okay, so we're not going to chain 1 or anything here. We only chain 1 when we're at the corners. So we're going to jump into the corner and we're going to put 3 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3. And because we are on a corner and we need to increase our stitches, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to put 3 more double crochets right into that same space. Geez, you run out of yarn so quick. Okay. And 3. Okay, so then we're done that corner. And then we can jump into this middle space right here. And we're just going to put 3 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, we're coming up to the next yarn. Remember, just watch your tension so that it all works out good. Okay, we're now into the next corner. So we're going to put 3 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3. And then we need to chain 1 because we're in the corner. Sorry, just pull out some more yarn. Okay, so I chained 1 and put 3 more double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. And then jump into that middle space and put 3 double crochets. 1. Oh, geez. I don't like this this particular yarn that I'm working with right now. I don't know why, it doesn't always cooperate. Okay, so now we're in the next corner, so we're going to put 3 double crochets into that space. Chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets. You're essentially just going to be making a big granny square. Okay, so we're back into this middle section, so just put 3 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then we're in the corner, so 3 double crochets. A chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets. I just find this type of yarn right here is so chunky and like, I don't know. Okay. All right, so now we are finished that round. We need to join to the top of this chain up, get both sides of it. Okay, slip stitch to join, and then there's the blanket so far. Okay, again, we need to turn our work, chain up 3, and then place 2 double crochets into that space underneath. Okay. All right, so now into this next corner, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets into the same space. Now for this entire pattern, it's going to be the same thing. So the only thing that you really need to make sure that you remember is on the side, it's just 3 double crochets into those spaces. And then at the corners, you have to put 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets to get that corner, and it's your increase too. So I'm just going to continue to do this until the first ball of yarn is done, and I will come back and show you how to join in new yarn. Okay, so I'm done this first ball of yarn pretty much. I just have a little bit left. Oh, pull that up a little bit so it doesn't come out. And then this is the second ball of yarn here. So literally it's so easy. I'm just gonna take the 2 ends and just pull tightly into a knot. And then I am going to cut it just a little bit away from that knot. You're not going to see that when it's all worked in. And then you just continue to do that same pattern all the way through until you're finished this second ball of yarn. Again, I'm just making a baby blanket, so I'm just going to be using the 2 balls of yarn. But if you want this to be bigger, just keep adding more balls of yarn. And just keep going and going and going until your heart is content. So I'm going to continue with this, and I will come back and I will show you what the finished product looks like when I'm done. Alright, so here is the finished product. The finished blanket measures about 31 by 31 when you use 2 balls of yarn. That's for a baby blanket. Or, like I said, you can keep going and make it as big as you want. So hope this video was helpful. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.